Hello and welcome back to Fuzzy's Kitchen. Today we're going to do a pork tenderloin. We're going to do it with a low-fat honey soy marinade. So we'll go to the bill of materials and we'll get this thing underway. Alright, so as you can see, this is a super simple recipe, really down to the basics, but it's delicious. We're going to be using a pork tenderloin, store-bought. It is the whole loin. And then we're going to be combining juice from one lemon. In this case we're doing lemon juice, but you could do natural lemon. We're using minced garlic. You could use clove garlic, but mince is just easier. And then we're going to combine it with honey and about 6 teaspoons of soy sauce. So we will assemble the marinade and get it refrigerated for at least 5 hours. Alright, now that we have our marinade mixed up, we're just going to dip our pork tenderloin in it, make sure that it glazes all sides, and then we're going to store it away in a freezer bag with the excess marinade. So we're just going to kind of work it in here, massage the meat around, make sure we get a lot of that honey glaze on it. And that's probably pretty good. You don't have to get it exact because remember the excess juices are going to go in the freezer bag with it. So, I'm going to put each side in. And then with the excess juice, we're just going to work its way in, and that should be pretty good. So we're going to seal this guy up, airtight, pack it as much as we can, and we're going to put it in the fridge for at least 5 hours. Alright, so we got the grill up to a little under 500 degrees, but that temperature will come down once we add the wood chips. So we're going to let it burp, and then we're going to add the wood chips, and then we're going to put our marinated pork tenderloin on. We have a really strong fire, so I'm going to be a little cautious here. Okay. Add our wood chips liberally over the fire. We're going to give it a quick stir. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place our tenderloins directly over the hot part of the grill, just to make sure that we sear the sides, and then after about 5 minutes per side, we're going to move them off toward the edge for probably additional 30 minutes. We're going to try to cook these to an internal temperature of around 140 degrees, and then we're going to let them sit and come to temperature. So we're going to watch these tenderloins, make sure that we don't get too far above 400 on the grill, and we'll probably flip in 5 minutes, and then once we're done searing, we'll just let them hang out. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes, so we've probably seared one side, so we're going to actually turn the tenderloins, but keep them in the same hot spot of the fire. So we're going to let our grill burp. Okay. And you can already see there's some really nice caramelization going on. So we're just going to give these a quick flip. Oh yeah, that's exactly what you want. When you get that strong charring, it builds a crust which keeps a lot of that moisture in. So we're going to let that sit here for another 5 minutes. Try to match that charring, and then we'll move it to a softer part of the grill that's a little bit further away from the heavy flames. So we will check back in on this in 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been another 5 minutes, so we're going to flip another time and actually remove it from the hottest part of the fire. So again, we'll let it burp because we do have a very strong fire. And yeah, that's looking just about perfect. So what we're going to do here is we're going to flip again. We're going to move it off to the edges. Just about perfect. And we're going to close it up, and what we're going to do from here on out is we're actually going to check the internal temperature about every 5 minutes, and then once it's at 140 we're going to pull it off and let it rest the rest of the way, just to make sure we get up to 160 or close to it. But you don't want to keep it at 160 on the grill because then you'll overcook it and it'll be dry. So we'll check back in on it in a little bit. Alright, so we checked on it twice, a total of 10 more minutes. So we're at a total cook time of about 25 minutes. You'll see it's creeping up over 140, so we're actually going to pull these off. They're about perfect. So we're going to let them sit inside, just to let those juices flow and keep cooking internal temperature, but not to overcook it. So we're going to pull these off and we'll slice them in a few minutes. Alright, so we just pulled these off the grill, and this is the most important part. You're going to want to just let these sit for about 5 to 10 minutes before you cut into them. And when you do so, you will want to cut against the grain. I can't emphasize that enough. It really just helps cut the meat evenly. So we're going to let this sit and we will taste it in a few minutes. Alright, so we let it sit here for about 10 minutes. So it's ready to slice up. So we'll just pick the one that we want to eat, and we'll use this guy. And you're just going to cut it against the grain. And it should be pretty darn good because we were pretty good about measuring out the temperature. And you'll see there's a little bit of red around it from the smoke of the orange. And we're actually going to redirect this a little bit and cut more against the grain so it's more evenly done. But yeah, I mean, that's about as good as you can get it. Still super moist, not overcooked. You can see all the juice coming out. And yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. So we'll give one of these guys a try real quick. We'll take this little guy right here. You can see perfectly gray throughout, safe to eat, little red ring around it from the smoke. You can see all the juice on my hands coming off of it, so it's going to be really moist. So we'll take a bite. Really good. The outside glaze of that soy sauce and honey really comes through, gives it a little bit of an Asian flavor, but the way we seared the outside of it really locked in that moisture, and it's super moist. So you guys are going to love it. I hope you enjoy it and enjoy the recipe, and enjoy.